Meteorologist Matthew East here with you in the Weather on the Ones Forecast Center. This is the Tuesday, November 24th edition of the Carolina Weather Video here. And still a lot to talk about. Our Thanksgiving holiday week continuing to unfold. Excuse me. And also we're looking, of course, at our pattern change and how things might be unfolding as we head into December. We'll start off with a look at the radar this morning from the 5 o'clock hour. Things pretty quiet here around our part of the country. But we do have some rain back in the Plain States. Some of this rain's been heavy in parts of Nebraska and Kansas this morning into Iowa, and that is with an area of low pressure, both at the surface and aloft. There's a look at the upper ear chart, valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is off the 0-Z run of the GFS, and that big upper low at that point in time moving through Missouri and Iowa. At the surface, there's the low. It's a vertically stacked system, so that low pressure right in that same general area, and that's causing some showers anywhere from parts of Illinois and Missouri today down through Arkansas, Louisiana, and into Texas. Also notice some activity flaring up in the Gulf. That is with a developing area of low pressure that tomorrow will emerge off the Atlantic coast of Florida and will probably spread some rain up through the eastern part of the Carolinas tomorrow. I think for the Charlotte and Triad zones, though, it's another dry day tomorrow. Today's highs upper 50s to lower 60s. Tomorrow looks like we'll be in the low to maybe even mid 60s in many spots. All right, here's Thanksgiving Day, that coastal low pulling away. Looks like a pretty quiet day. We'll forecast a partly cloudy sky for Thanksgiving Day and still relatively mild. We're talking high temperatures there on Thanksgiving Day, probably lower 60s in most spots. But here comes a pretty good push of some colder air. Now, this is not true Arctic air. This has some Pacific influences in it, but it's cold enough that by Friday we see snow showers up in the mountains. That'll probably begin Thursday night. Some snow showers through the day Friday up there in the high country. Certainly a couple of inches of accumulation possible in those favored upslope locations, those northwest facing slopes. For the Piedmont Friday, we'll see sunshine and a colder day. It looks like low 50s for highs Friday. Pretty breezy conditions as well. Saturday, beautiful weather, sunshine, but it's going to be chillier for Saturday as well. We're talking highs in the low to mid 50s. It looks like Saturday, and low temperatures back at or below freezing in most spots in the Piedmont Saturday and Sunday morning. Sunday also gorgeous, sunshine, and highs in the upper 50s by Sunday, maybe some lower 60s. Now let's go out to next week. This is a look again. This is the 0-Z run of the GFS. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon Monday, and a big storm system wrapping up on the GFS near Tupelo, Mississippi. Big low pressure there, a lot of warm air advection out ahead of that system pulling into our area, and the GFS really bombs this thing out up toward Indiana by 1 a.m. Tuesday, and that's showing showers, even some thunderstorms, moisture-laden system pulling through the southeastern part of the country. Now let's check some of the other modeling. First of all, there's the upper air chart off the GFS for Monday evening of next week. Big closed upper low over the Ozarks. The European, it is much slower with this system at that same time frame, Monday evening. It has the upper low over the Oklahoma Panhandle and the surface low beginning to develop over Louisiana. It still has us dry, the European does, Monday evening. The Canadian, similar in some regards to the GFS. It does not have that closed upper feature, but there's your surface low, actually two of them, one up in the Great Lakes region, another one moving near Mobile, and it brings, the Canadian does, brings the showers in late Monday and Monday night, clearing us out Tuesday. So as it stands now, there's a lot of uncertainty with that system early next week. It looks like right now we'll probably see a moisture-laden system move through later Monday, especially Monday night, maybe into Tuesday. Right now, here around our area in the Carolinas, looks like mainly a rain-producing system. That's how it looks right now. That's certainly not set in stone. A lot of model variability, but it looks like mainly a rain-producing system early next week. What happens after that, though? Let me show you the comparison. On the left, this is the European model, GFS model. On the right, we're looking at the 500 millibar chart here for the average of day 8 to 10. So basically what we're looking at is the middle portion of next week, mid to late next work week. And again, European on the left, GFS on the right. Notice a lot of the features very similar. European showing a nice ridge developing up into western Canada. GFS similar. GFS also developing some ridging in the western Atlantic Ocean. not as much on the European. Now the reason it's not as much ridging there in the Atlantic and the western Atlantic on the European is it is slower with that big 500 millibar trough early next week. So where the GFS has a trough centered in the Mississippi River Valley, the European rather has that trough back in the western plain states. I would tend to think the GFS is more correct. This falls into the wheelhouse of that typical European bias of holding energy back. So if the GFS is correct, following that wet early week system, we do certainly trend toward a colder pattern. That's the idea that the National Weather Service is still going with, a below average temperature scheme for the day 8 to 14 time frame across the eastern U.S. The greatest below average temperatures being in the southeastern United States and the Gulf Coast. So let's follow the GFS run on out, and again, you don't take any specifics from this, but again, that now we're looking at Tuesday evening. That upper low is continuing to be quite powerful over the Great Lakes. A lot of wraparound snows being indicated on the GFS behind it through the Midwest and even down toward the Tennessee Valley. And here's the next system on the GFS. This is the 4th, Friday the 4th, 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock rather in the morning. And it now has the GFS has this system suppressed well off to the south. Again, I would not put any stock in the specifics of this solution. And even though the models are flipping and flopping around, I still think the general idea here is we get that system through early next work week. Should be a rain-producing system here, it looks like. And behind that, we're set up for a colder, stormier pattern. So still think odds are higher as we go into December of somebody in the southeast picking up some wintry precip. When, where, I don't know yet. But certainly the same players still on the field in terms of where the pattern is headed in December. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great Tuesday. God bless.